Nowadays, lots of popular toy lines like Transformers and G.I. Joe are getting movie adaptations. So when the news came that Lego of all toy franchises was getting a movie, many eyebrows were raised, including my own. How can a toy franchise literally built on toy bricks and tiny yellow plastic people with happy faces be a successful movie? Well, truth is, it really became successful, but how the heck did that happen? Well, that's what I am going to discuss. Now, while Transformers has been a hugely successful movie franchise and G.I. Joe has been so-and-so, there have been many other attempts to follow in their backwater. Battleship is one example where it failed miserably. Miserably! You know, when I heard that the Lego movie was being made, I of course assumed it was going to be a big failure. But gosh, was I really jumping the toy gun there? Lego, of all things, encourages playfulness and has a great sense of fun that I wasn't really keeping in mind. I should have known better, I guess, because hey, I've got some of the earliest Lego video games. I got the two first Star Wars Lego games and the first Batman Lego game. Also, I own a copy of the Lego Batman movie, which is based on the second Lego game with Batman. I really should have figured out by then that you actually can do a pretty good movie based on Lego when you maintain the same type of humor as in the games and the movies based on the games. But then there's the whole thing with what do you actually focus on in a Lego movie? I mean, there is such a huge variety. And the answer to that is they were mixing all of it. All of it. We got, you know, for starters, building stuff, goes without saying. We got the Wild West, outer space. We got different types of fantasy elements. And what you get from that is hilarious satire on, you know, the stuff that Joseph Campbell is talking about. As for my time as a college student, it sticks with you and then it doesn't let go. Sort of like the piece of resistance. A chosen one, or in this case, the special, who is Emmett. A kind-hearted but a little dim-witted construction builder. I think one of my favorite moments in the movie is when he's watching the TV and the bad guy, Lord Business, is talking about putting everybody to sleep. And he's like, wait, what did he just say? And then the TV switches over to the sitcom, Where Are My Pants? And he instantly forgets about what Lord Business said and just falls off the couch laughing his plastic yellow butt off. So he's kind of this type of guy who wants to please everybody. Well, he wants to fit in. He wants to be a part of the community. And then after a long day of work, he stumbles upon, well, this mystic girl dressed in black. And before he knows it, he's on the run from robots and policemen. And he's got this girl, Wild Style, the chick in black, by his side because she's convinced that he is the special one. After that, he gets to meet the mentor figure in the movie, sort of the Obi-Wan Kenobi or the Gandalf Vitruvius, voiced by Morgan Freeman, and I can tell he is having so much fun with that character. And then along the way they meet so many other characters. Batman, yes, Batman, one of the most random things ever. So this movie was incredibly random to begin with, but then they suddenly drop in this famous comic book character into the story, and he is Wildstyle's boyfriend. Gee, what is Catwoman gonna say about that? And I love how they sort of poke fun at Batman in this, using this really gravelly voice, sort of making fun of Christian Bale's performance in Christopher Nolan's Batman movies. And oh gosh, Cloud Cuckoo Land, the place where all of the master builders congregate, hosted by Princess Unikitty, a character who I can't figure out whether I want to hug or snap the neck off. Yes, I know that's kind of harsh, but when you hear her talking for a few minutes, kinda don't know how you want to deal with her. Random is a complicated thing for me. Sometimes I think it's really superb, like in Monty Python's Flying Circus, Adventure Time and such. And then there are those times when it doesn't work quite as well, like Axe Cop. I saw one episode of it and that was quite enough. No offense to the creators of that comic and the series, but it's not my cup of tea, okay? The basic theme is, you know, all of these characters who build things, and they build things that they want to make, and they aren't always following the instructions, whereas Lord Business, the bad guy, voiced by Will Ferrell, wants to keep things one certain way and no other way at all. Like with the whole Taco Tuesday thing, which is, wow, the most insane plot any villain in a movie has ever had. You know, it kind of makes a lot of sense when we get to the big reveal, when Emmett sort of falls out of the Lego universe and he's suddenly just a tiny Lego figure on a floor in a basement, and there's this kid playing with this huge model of a city entirely made of Legos, and it turns out that, you know, Lord Business is like a caricature of the kid's dad, also played by Will Ferrell, who gets so freaking mad when he sees what his son has done with his city model. And the kid argues that, hey, this is a toy, right? I mean, it's for kids. And the dad is like, no, not when I'm doing this, not in the way I do it. Then it's an adult thing, you hear? So then he takes his son's things that he has built and tears them apart and builds them into, you know, regular things and glues them together with the Cradle or Crazy Glue, which of course upsets the boy tremendously. And not just that, but he keeps nitpicking about stuff that the kid has built, like what's this spaceship doing here? Why is Batman sitting in it? What is this, a robot pirate? And the spaceship, oh god. We got Benny the spaceman, 80s spaceman, I believe. I think Benny is actually a character I relate to a lot, because, you know, throughout the whole movie he wants just to build this awesome retro spaceship, but every time he starts building it, he gets rejected. Like, no, don't build this, Benny. We're not going to have this spaceship quite yet. And then when he finally gets the chance to build this thing that he has been longing for all of this time, he just loses it, you know. Spaceship! 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 The joy and the energy of that little blue guy is enough to punch a hole in the universe, and it's wow. So we have, you know, the energy of a child in Benny, we have the innocence of a child in Emmett, and Wildstyle, I guess, is sort of his rebellious side. The dad, Will Ferrell, suddenly notices all of the things his kid has built, and he gets this epiphany, like, oh, maybe I have been a little harsh. You know, Will Ferrell is a dad in real life, and you know, I guess a lot of parents have had this moment when they realize they have been a little too harsh on their children, maybe even a bit unfair, and they feel guilty about it. I'm not going to imply that Will Ferrell is a bad parent or anything, but you know, when his character realizes what Lord Business represents in Finn's dream world, and it occurs to him that sort of damage he's done, and they make up and have a big hug. That's a really sweet moment. It's a really nice thing that they included that in the movie. You know, build what you wanna build, whether it's what it says on his instruction manual or if it's something in your own mind. And how can I talk about a Lego movie without talking about everything is awesome? Because everything is awesome really is a perfect description of the movie. From the beginning, when Emmett starts playing it, you just can't get it out of your head. Everything is awesome, everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome when we live in a dream. Everything is cooler when we stick together. Da, 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 da. I don't know the rest of the lyrics, but it's an awesome song that really grabs you and refuses to let go. This movie really took me by surprise, to say the least. I mean, when it came out, people kept praising it and praising it and praising it, and I barely could believe what I was hearing. I actually chose by either seeing this or Frozen in the cinema, so when I kept hearing more and more praise when the months passed by, it was almost driving me crazy. So when it finally came on DVD, I just had to go buy the damn thing even though I hadn't seen it. I don't know if you have seen this episode of The Simpsons when Krusty starts a clown school and Homer keeps seeing this ad campaign for it, and he pretty much gets clowns on his brain, so he finally gives in and signs up for the clown school. That's pretty much me and the Lego movie. It sort of infested my brain until I couldn't take it anymore and I had to get it on DVD. And I wasn't the least bit disappointed in it. I mean, good gosh, you really have to look very hard to find any other kids movie that's really sucks you in the same way as the Lego movie. Another thing that I've noticed is that the movie is also a lot about accepting other people for what they are and not being snobbish or looking down on them. When Wildstyle starts noticing that Emmett isn't who she thought he was, it's because of the things that he likes. Like, what restaurant do you like? Any chain restaurant. What's your favorite show on TV? Honey, where are my pants? What's your favorite song? Everything is awesome. And then she's like, oh no. And that sucks, quite frankly. I mean, so what if somebody likes a silly show on TV or a silly song on the radio? That doesn't make you a bad person. I know there are a lot of people who don't like many movies or pop songs and so on, and go on and on about how much they suck in their opinion, but you never should take it out on the people who like that stuff. That's not cool. You shouldn't look down on people because they see something that they appreciate and something that you don't appreciate. When Emmett tells her later on that he felt so good when she thought that he was the special, that she said that he was talented and all that other stuff, and then she admits that he wasn't what she thought he was. That hurts him a lot, obviously. Sort of like when the bad cop shows him videos of his co-workers who have nothing nice to say about him at all, like that he doesn't make any impression on them, that they barely remember him. That's really ouch. But then when his crazy ideas, which everybody thinks is silly, the bad guys, the other heroes, you know, the double-decker couch that saves everybody's lives, when he starts singing everything is awesome to those robot guardians, all of these things work out because of his ability to think outside of the box, which is really weird considering that he is trying to fit in and follow the stream, and yet he is so unique and different because he isn't that different. It's really mind-bending, you know. It really encourages you to act out your own ideas and liking yourself for the way you are. It sounds extremely preachy, but that doesn't mean it's not true. And that's one thing that really makes me love the Lego Movie. Not just because of the animation, which I even thought was stop motion, but then realized was CGI entirely. That's really freaking impressive, by the way. But it's not just the animation or the wacky comedy or that. It's that they make us feel for these characters, even though they are just tiny plastic people that you find in a toy store. And they aren't even action figures or anything like that. So that is an amazing accomplishment. So yeah, I can totally get why so many loved the Lego Movie when it came out, because I gave it a shot as well, and there's no disagreement from me about it. Everything is awesome, enough said.